welcome many people here who have not attended a program of Srimati Nirmala Devi. By good fortune, we are holding a seminar here this weekend, and we had the idea to open it out to a wider public, to share with you the remarkable discovery, which is Sahaja Yoga. Srimati Nirmala Devi is an absolutely unique figure in this world. And people have come from many European countries to join us this weekend. I'm going to ask Gregoire de Calva-Maten, who's a Swiss national, who's written a book on the subject of Sri Mataji's Advent, to make a presentation before Sri Mataji arrives, to give you some orientation about why it is that this is such a unique opportunity for all of us at this juncture in our history, in the national history, in the international history, in the very evolution of our species. You may hear some big words this evening, but I hope that you are people of a caliber to seek the reality, the truth, in big words, and not to be satisfied with superficial answers to sublime questions. We have been having an intensely joyful seminar. We want to share that joy with you. There is a very specific way by which that joy can be shared by everyone. It's the birthright of everyone. It's nothing especially abnormal. Everyone has the potential within them to achieve what has been promised. And we hope very much that later on you will make a point of finding out for yourself, individually, how much potential you have to transform into the promised state, which is very blissful, very peaceful, and very nourishing, which we call self-realization. After the program, those who are interested to do so may like to leave their name and address with us in the foyer, so that we can be in touch with you about other programs. Programs are held regularly in London and in many other cities in this country, and we look forward to meeting you and getting to know you. So without further ado, I'll ask Gregoire to speak to you and to introduce Sri Mataji, who will be here in a few minutes. Thank you.
All right, it's working. Again, good evening to everybody and most welcome. I mean, it's a very nice surroundings. We had a very jolly weekend here. And we thank you for coming this evening. Now, introducing Sahaja Yoga or Sri Mataji is always a privilege, although it's not a very easy topic. The reason it is not an easy topic is that the subject matter is slightly beyond the borders of our wildest dreams, and while presenting it, we have to be very careful not to look like somebody who would be naive to the point of idiocy. Is it an English word, idiocy? Okay. Because what we are talking about is self-realization. If any of us know what self-realization is about, then we know it's a very big thing. It is something that very few saints and sages of the older days used to achieve after lives of tremendous labors and penances dedicated to that very purpose, which obviously is not the situation in which I am finding myself. I am an international civil servant, I have a wife, 3 children, and so on. So that keeps me pretty busy. So, self-realization while living in the world, this sounds like utopia. I have met Sri Mataji about 10 years ago, or slightly more, I suppose now. And that is enough for me to know it's not utopia, it's reality. Now, I have no pretension to communicate this very truth to you, because if I have accepted it, it is on the basis of my own experience and not because anybody would tell me so. Actually, the people who told me so, I told them that they were, kidding themselves. And I would expect from you the same kind of healthy skepticism, i.e., you shouldn't believe me, of course. Somebody who believes people in this world today is somebody who is in for troubles, because especially in the field of spirituality, you have all kind of crazy show going on in town. Unfortunately, these shows are sometimes very successful. So that for someone who is genuine but confused, which seems to be the characteristic of many seekers, certainly, I would certainly describe myself as being confused when I think about the state I was before I met Sri Mataji. It's very difficult to know who is genuine and who is not, who delivers the goods and who doesn't, and who is just a kind of illusion makers. So the way to go about this riddle is just to submit to you that whatever may be said on Sahaja Yoga is for you an hypothesis. And this is probably what Sri Mataji will tell you also in a few minutes. Now, you know that for an hypothesis to be considered as a law, it has to fulfill 2 requirements. It has to be communicable and verifiable under certain conditions. So the hypothesis of Sahaja Yoga, which is going to be laid down or presented for you, is going to be verified for those who so desire, not for the others, of course, by a session of meditation at the end of the program of Sri Mataji, in which Sri Mataji will again show her absolutely amazing capacity to play this catalytical role in granting people their self-realization. So if you came here to listen to a lecture, you're like someone who came and thought he had $5 in his pockets, but it's not 5, it's $5,000. Because really, what you can get this evening is much more than analytical knowledge, which is communicated by means of words. So, this is a kind of introduction to the hypothesis. And I assure you that the only thing it takes to verify what is actually going on is a certain intellectual honesty, that's all. Certain genuineness. And of course a desire to know what's going on. Not about Sahaja Yoga, of course, but what's going on about our own life, about the way to fulfill it. Now, the hypothesis is very simple. This is the framework of the hypothesis. And what we say is this. You have in the sacrum bone, which is more or less at the bottom of your spine, an energy which could be called in our tradition as the residual consciousness of the Holy Spirit in man. This energy is called Kundalini in Sanskrit. Now, what we call self-realization is, that has to be defined, is the following process. It's the process of this energy going up within the spine, crossing this famous point known as the third eye in various esoteric traditions, going through this beautiful flower here, which Lord Buddha described as the 1,000-petaled lotus, and oozing out of the top of the skull. Now, when this takes place, what does it mean? What are the implications? I think Sri Mataji is already coming. What are the implications of this process? First of all, you can register the process in, I would say, essentially two ways. When the energy crosses this center, the Agya Chakra, one enters into a state which is a state of silence. Now we all know we'd rather think a lot, and it's not easy to stop thinking, even if we do so. I mean, if we wish to do so. This state of silence announces the quality of what Lord Jesus Christ has described as the kingdom of God. Because when one can penetrate farther into this silence, one undoubtedly discover a new quality of being. And I would like to come back on this. Now, once the Kundalini is just a couple of centimeters upwards and oozes out of the head, then what happens? There again, what happens has been referred to in very ancient texts. What actually happens is one feels the manifestation of something which is a cool breeze. And this is the cool breeze which was called as pneuma or nous by the Greek fathers of the church. It was referred to also in the Bible as this mighty wind which erupted in the house where the apostles were gathered for Pentecost. There are many references in various cultures to this phenomenon that we call vibrations. What actually happens is that our central nervous system, which means this physical system by which we feel sensations, become aware of a subtle energy which was always existing before, but which we could not perceive. It's like you have, let's say, a radio here. I mean, if the radio is not switched on, it cannot pick up all the waves and the music which is in the room in the same way. Self-realization allows our central nervous system to pick on those waves, to feel these vibrations, which are a spiritual energy. In other words, this is the meeting point of matter and spirit, because with the material structure, one becomes aware of spirit. And this is a breakthrough into the fourth dimension. These vibrations are the category of perception that Kant was requiring in order to know the things in themselves, in order to know reality. And it is because at that time he said that we don't have this new or this other category of perception to know metaphysical realities, metaphysics, that is what is beyond physics. That is why we should just limit ourselves to rationality, and from there on, the whole démarche, the whole direction of the Western seekers went into basically this finite world, and no more this world which was keeping people like Plato and Socrates busy, the world of the things in themselves, of reality. Now, this is important to know because this breakthrough in our category of perception has been sought by so many seekers that people who know that background, would it be only intellectually, know that one thing has to happen in order to know reality, is that we have to have a new means. And this is how you'll better understand the importance of these vibrations and the importance of what can be done with them. This is such a rich and vast topic that I simply would not like to enter into it now. Now, going back to what I said a few minutes ago, this quality of silence one discovers at the level of the Agya chakra is the space of reality between two thought movements. Now, the action of this energy, which we have called Kundalini, pushes the thoughts on the side, and then you enter in your own realm. What actually happens is this, is that once that the Kundalini is at the top of the head, there is a secret link between the head and the heart. And the heart is the seat of the self, the spirit, the Atma in Sanskrit. So through this link, in your consciousness, in your brain, you start imbibing Atma consciousness. That means you start being aware, conscious of those qualities which are the qualities of the self, which are called Sat, Chit, Ananda, meaning truth, consciousness, and bliss. So this is the hypothesis, as shortly as I could. This is true, Sri Mataji. So, the same reading as ours, I suppose. Now, as I mentioned, the very reassuring thing about Sahaja Yoga is that nobody is ever taught to believe in anything that is not object of experience and perception. I also mentioned that for those who so desire, the verification of the hypothesis can take place at the end of this program. Now, I should perhaps, before ending, tell you why it is so. Why it is that we who are very, I should say, normal people, why is it that we should be in a position to know this experience? What have we done to deserve it? I mean, if I ask this question for myself, I'm a bit puzzled because I certainly did not at any point have got the feeling that I had done anything to deserve that. So it came as such a surprise to me that I should get my realization that really for quite some time I would not quite believe that it is so. And I found out later on that many people have the same difficulty to relate to something which is so incredibly beyond our wildest dream that it's just too good to be true. You know, where is the catch? I mean, it's not possible. Well, it is. And Sri Mataji has a very, which I welcome here. It's very gracious of you to have come, and we thank you so much. We certainly are very grateful to you for coming, Sri Mataji. Sri Mataji is a very poetical, simple image, which in my view is perfect because it carries the strength of simplicity and it says it all. Sri Mataji says that, well, if you have a tree which starts producing flowers in the middle of winter under snow and storm, this is a miracle. And that miracle where those great souls of the past which received their realization at a point where the whole evolutionary process was not quite mature for this. Therefore, they had to struggle in an incredible way. And this is what you learn when you study the lives of such great people. Now, if this same tree is blossoming in spring, it's not a miracle. It's nature's ways and rhythm. It is the dance of evolution. It is the moment that should happen. And so Sri Mataji says, we now have entered the time where this process of triggering en masse self-realization has come. And if you study arts, literature, anything, any parameter of modern civilization, you know that there is a tremendous expectation for this kind of breakthrough. And this is pretty obvious that today Englishmen, for instance, are not motivated by many things, certainly not by competing with Japanese in order to make gadgets. I mean, the economic indicators prove that they don't devote much energy to these things. So what do they care about? Cricket maybe, but other things too. And actually, I would submit that it is probably an evolutionary progress to accept that GNP should decrease because one does not bother about it. But then what should we devote our attention to? And many people in this country, as in any so-called industrial countries, are trying to devote more energy to the pursuit of this inner truth. The only trouble is the setup that I've described before, is that there is such a big show in town that people don't go into the right shop. Because first of all, they assume it has to be found in a shop where you can buy it. And this is the first mistake. So here you can't buy because it's too expensive. It's so expensive that it can only be given. Sri Mataji says self-realization is as important as breathing. If you would have to puncture your bank account in order to have the right to breathe, you would be dead long time back. And this, it is the same thing. So it happens now because now the time has come, and it happens for another reason. And this other reason, if I may say so, is sitting before you. Now, speaking to, I would say, a few people who have never had exposure to Sahaja Yoga, I should certainly keep a kind of sobriety while introducing Sri Mataji, which is difficult, because her achievements are so extraordinary that they are difficult to express in English, which is a language appreciating understatements. It's very difficult to understate Sri Mataji. I mean, we are condemned to understate her anyway, but how to give some or render some justice to her labor, the work she has been doing in this country, and I should say in the whole of Western Europe, not to mention Australia and of course India. what I know is that she's a totally selfless, totally genuine person. Not only she didn't ever take any penny, I mean, I should blush for saying such a nonsense from anybody, but the first lot of her followers in London were of such a kind of economically derelict sort that she had to pay for the rent of the flat for some time. So this is one of the oddities of Sahaja Yoga, and there are many others that you will discover in due time. Sri Mataji, despite a tremendous power that we would not be able to face if that power would not be just love, despite siddhis, despite qualities that, in my humble view, are to be found in nobody on this earth, and I have seen a lot of so-called spiritual people before I met Sri Mataji. Despite all this, she's extremely human. I mean, much more than me. I'm quite surprised about that. There is a word in Sanskrit for this, and this word is called Mahamaya, and Mahamaya means the great illusion. So you have the privilege to sit this evening in front of a very, very great illusion, and this is the illusion that you are in front of a human being. It's a nice illusion, though, because if you would realize that it is not so, you may run away, and this is not the purpose of the evening. So I suppose that I should end these few words by means of introduction, thanking you very much for having come all the way from wherever you came. And if Sahaja Yoga is full of joy, is full of humor, it's also a sacred reality. It is the sacred reality of our innermost divine being, which opens itself if we, in all humility and sincerity, so wish. Sri Mataji, I am again, in the name of everybody, most grateful that you should grace this evening. And it is my humblest prayer that everybody who has come should experience their self-realization, and what is even, I should say, what is even as important as that, should understand what great, great gift that evening is for them. Thank you very much.
Oh. Ah. So fragrant. I bow to all the seekers of truth. We had no intentions of having any public programs in England, but somehow Mr. Gavin Brown, hopes against hopes, and they spent a lot of money for this program. And I only feel sorry that every time they have a public program, we get very few people. And even if you get, last time we had about 300 people who were new. They got, some of them did touch realization, They looked very serious, but nothing inside. We lost most of them because, you see, we have become used to our mental capacity to enact something and not to be the reality. It's a speciality of mental people that they talk too much, they say too much, have nothing with them. It's very shocking sometimes when you see how people say things about reality. I watch sometimes television, I see people on the television, and I feel they are somewhere near reality, they are talking about reality. They understand that there's something missing in their lives and they are looking for it. But when it comes to actualization and to achieving what you have, whatever is your own, they become absolutely mundane, frivolous, very surprising. I can't understand why it should happen. Now supposing you say, as Gregor has been giving me certificates, great certificates he has given, and also he's a diplomat, so diplomatically he was trying to please all of you so that you take to Sahaja Yoga, because he doesn't want you to commit the same mistakes that most of them have committed. But despite all that, let us face ourselves clearly. Newcomers are absolutely a minority here, so I'm talking also to Sahaja Yogis. Let us face ourselves fully. Are we ourselves? We've got everything. Supposing we say, all right, we have seen the power of political achievement, of economic achievements, of other achievements which we call emotional achievements. But have we really faced ourselves? Have we seen ourselves? What is our quality of life? I asked an Englishman, I said, what is the quality of an Englishman? So he said, it depends on how many times he goes for a sea resort. Can you imagine? What? Sea resort. How many years back did you start going to the sea resort? I don't think we never heard about it in India. It's about 25 years back, somebody stupid fellow must be, or somebody very clever maybe, put this idea that we all should go to the sea resort because we must get our skin full of cancer. So the quality of a person doesn't depend on a mental acceptance of something that looks new. And that's what is happening to all of us. Is anything new that comes, we accept it and we think we have a quality. If a lady goes, supposing to a sea resort, because I meet the other kind also, who are not seekers at all, she'll come and tell and say, now see what a tan I have got. I mean, it's so superficial, it's so frivolous, it's so nonsensical. I mean, is this the value of your life? You have come out of amoeba stage to this stage, and what are you doing about yourself? Making it tan? That sometimes really makes me feel very disappointed. And this is such a common topic all over. What are we? We are human beings. We have come out of amoeba to other stage and other stage in thousands of years. Today we are human beings, made to achieve something great. Nature has worked on us relentlessly, so beautifully, so delicately, so lovingly. For what? And when we just become mental, according to Indian philosophers, a mental person is nothing but a stupid fellow. Egoistical person he becomes, and he becomes nothing but a stupid fellow. Because anything that comes of the mental expression, today I was only watching about the modern art. Modern art is all right if you know how to become super modern. That is a realized soul. But this modern art was described by a gentleman and then ultimately got into the real mood of saying something that is the truth. He said that this all expression shows that we were barbaric and now we have become worse than barbaric. So the whole expression of our life is something that we have done out of our mental thing. We are so much in imbalance. Now the main thing one has to understand that you are made a human being by the kindness, the grace of the nature of God Almighty, as I call it. Not by you, not by mental thought. You have a special value. You have a very, very special value in the eyes of the nature, in the working of the evolutionary process. Have we got any concept as to what is expected out of us? Are we to waste our life into these frivolous, stupid things, doing everything very seriously though? They're very serious about all stupidity, especially then they talk for a greater stupidity, they are more serious. They think without that there won't be any impression on people. But the main thing is we have missed the point. The point is you have to be the spirit. All these doings are to be the spirit. It's not talking, it's not your mental projections, all your new ideas coming up and going up. It's not that. It is you have to be the spirit. Face it up. This you cannot purchase in the market. You cannot. You cannot put in any effort. Now you are that. Just to become that. That's what your quality is. That's what I see you as. Or anybody who is a realized soul. But what do you see yourself as is the main point. That's why there cannot be much report. Anything new that is brought to you. Oh, it's nice. How? How do you know? Traditions we have put on one side because tradition means all conditioning, all wrong things. Tradition we don't want. All right. So now, what are you clinging to? At least tradition had one safe point, that trial and error you have found out something sensible. Now you put tradition all nonsense. Why? Because you cannot take out the good out of that tradition. So now you are going to the other side, saying, all right, no tradition, we'll have this new style. We don't want to be curbed by any tradition. Like people might say, what is in a painting of, say, Marlowe whom I like very much, say, what is so great? We can do some drip painting. They have drip painting. I don't know what sort of paintings they have these days. Why should we? You can't do even one painting like that. You can't even reproduce. You cannot think of such a painting. Face it. Modern mind is incapable of conceiving that. Accept it. You have gone down in quality. Why? Because of mental movement. It's such a limited movement. But those people believed in something higher ideals. They thought of God. They thought of perfecting themselves. Not putting the chaos in your heart outside. No, perfecting. Resting in that. Believing in that. In that peaceful atmosphere, they created something that you cannot produce. Only thing what you can do, I don't like it. Like in my house, I have a screen made in Saharanpur long time back. It's beautifully done. It has got beautiful honeycomb work which no one can do. Found some people came to see. I don't like it. I said, can you make even 3 inches of that? That's the only thing you can do, is to say, I don't like it, finished. Can you do 3 inches? Can you? You can't. Accept this fact. Once you accept this fact, I'm sure the humility that is needed will come into you. Humility is lacking. Seekers must have humility, otherwise they will go to people who will pamper their egos and they will be drifted into nonsensical till their money is finished, till they become absolutely lunatics or epileptics. They will just continue and will finish off. But to be sensible, to be sane, one has to understand that our worth is much more than this. Like a BBC fellow comes and tells me, he thinks he's praising you, I don't know, whatever you may call it, that an Anglo-Saxon brain cannot understand anything spiritual for which you don't have to pay. I really tell you, he said it to me. And I refused to go on that BBC because I said, first of all, your Anglo-Saxon brain must be all right. Is it a special brain you have made, Anglo-Saxon brains? Are they specially made by God? When you say you are Anglo-Saxon brain, you have absolutely put down your value, down. And when you say it's a human brain, then you are great, because you become one of that great world. There's no global sense. We don't have a global sense at all within ourselves. Whatever we have is so localized and insular understanding. So insular that we just say, I don't like it, I don't want it. Who is this I? Is only possible when we come to some humility. With all respect to England, because England to me is very great. And it's the heart of the universe. And when I say this in the European countries, they get rather upset. Mother, what? England is the heart. That's too much, mother, we can't digest this. It is the heart, whatever you like it or not. It is the heart, no doubt. But what a heart. Can't break it, Cannot make it expand. This is the sad part of English. It's the heart, is a very important organ of the universe. but the cells that exist here, who are supposed to circulate in the whole world, who have to achieve so many things as the cells of the heart achieve by pumping out new, refreshed blood. Is expected to have beautiful heart, an Englishman. A heart that is to be cherished, to be enjoyed and appreciated. Where are they? With all this expenditure on these people here. Previously I used to do it in England, but I gave up. Exhausted all my bank, and how many disciples I get are 7 for 4 years. I said, give up these people. Good for nothing, useless. All the money they spend. And what do you find? What's the quality? How many come up? And how many work it out? How many care for their self-realization? For me, to say that I work very hard, I don't think I work at all. I don't work. I do not work. It emits. It's there. But it's a waste. It's a wasteland. How are we going to sow the seed in the wasteland? How are we going to work it out? Especially London seems to be a rock. Rock of Gibraltar has come in London, I think. For this place, Wimbledon, you'll be surprised. We are very fond of tennis, so both of us used to come. And our driver would say, we must go 1 hour earlier. Why? You just can't get in there. And we used to come 1 hour earlier to get into the lanes of this Wimbledon to go and see the tennis. And the same Wimbledon has 20 people, new people over here. I really wanted to go back. Because I felt, what sort of a quality is this that I'm wasting my time with? We tried everything, diplomatic relationship, food, we invited them, gave them food, tea, Indian tea, all kinds of things we tried. That a mother should try her level best. But you don't understand this. Of course, the Indians who are here are all uprooted people. I don't call them Indians at all. Most of them. They are just uprooted people. They don't understand the value of their life. No. Most of them. Of course, there are some sensible people also. No doubt. But very few. So now what are we to do? Supposing there is something great that has to happen to this world, and that you are the ones who have to be blessed. Can you believe it? I've been here for 12 years now. This will be the 12th year. But there's a guru who wants a Rolls Royce. He's already got 58, he wants a 59th. There are 60,000 people here who are buying a Rolls Royce for that person. What happens to your brains? I can't understand. Is that the spirit? Is that what you are seeking? Understatement, I understand, but undervaluing, I don't understand. No value for your own being, not for your own evolution and for your own personality. I tell you, I've done everything under the sun in this country. In India, I've hardly worked for 2 years, and we have thousands and thousands of people who are Sahajogis today there. Our country is going to change very fast, I know that. It will work out even in so many other countries. But England, William Blake, I don't know, he dreamt so great about England because he knew the quality of England. That Jerusalem, do you think you still hope what he said? You have such an advantage of your language. You have such an advantage that you can read about so many things. Most of the books of philosophy are translated into your language. You are specially being blessed by so much of knowledge. Despite that, why people are so much unaware of their worth, of their deserving capacity? What do they deserve? Let's see. Is the expectation of the disasters that are going to come, or horrible things that are going to happen in this world? All these things, do we deserve, or do we deserve some sort of a great hope for ourselves? And everything is within you, you can see that. It's all there. It's your own. Why shouldn't you have it? I mean, we have tried everything to push you down to that point. Every way, every method. As in Sanskrit they say, kama, dama, danda, bheda, niti, everything, 5 things we have tried to work it out. So now only another thing is to push people with piston up there and keep them waiting. That also perhaps we've done, isn't it? The whole world is looking at you. Remember that. Not big talking, not big saying, but the big thing happening within you is actualization of that great thing, which is so simple, so beautiful. It takes hardly anything for you to become your spirit. But to maintain it, to respect it, and to be there, I don't know what sort of a special glue we should have. They just don't stick on. They meet me on the shop, Mother. I said, how? Oh, you don't know. I came to it 12 years back, you gave me realization. All right, now what are you doing about it? Mother, I lost it, you know. Really? It's very common phenomenon. So those who are here today, 20 people, I hope are special. And they consider this experience as something special. And establish themselves as great saints, knowing everything about their own powers. It all has to be free. You cannot pay for it. I'm really frustrated, I must say. I was going away this time to India, I would have been there. But as you say, one is more concerned about the lost lambs. India is very easy. So I've stuck back. I hope you are not going to disappoint me. Those who have come for the first time, please. Gregor has tried his tricks. Everybody tries. But I don't know how to make people stick. Surprising, in the West, people have developed the best quality glues. We cannot develop such in India, or any developing countries don't have glues. But as far as they are concerned, they cannot stick on to anything whatsoever. They cannot stick on to their wives, they cannot stick on to their husbands, they cannot stick on to their houses, they cannot stick on to anything whatsoever. And whatever has to grow has to stick on somewhere. If you have to make a well, then you find some water, then you dig it down. Then you dig one, then another, then go about. That's not the way. There has to be that breaking into that depth that you are. There has to be that happening where you break into your own depth, your own quality, your own wealth. But that time, you don't give. You don't give to yourself. You have no time for yourself. You have time for all kinds of nonsensical things. But no time for yourself to see what beauty lies, what glory lies behind this body, above this mind, and below these emotions. I do not know any other method is possible now. I must say, I give up. I've tried everything. And as you have heard about Sahaja Yoga, it's a fact. There's no doubt about it. There's nothing to lose. You are the spirit. You have to become the spirit. It must relate to the traditional expression of your evolution. It cannot cut out all the saints, all the great prophets, all the great religious leaders. It cannot cut out. But it integrates all the essences of these great advents who came on this earth to guide us. It does not cut out anywhere. And that's what is Sahaja Yoga. Sahaj, as you know, was spontaneous. Now, spontaneous can be quite misrepresented if you use through your brains. Spontaneous means it's a living process that should happen to all of you. And don't miss the point. You have to spend at least a month to see the light that you have got is to be carried much deeper into you. You are deep. You are great. But if you have to find the pearls that are hidden, you have to go deep down. It's very simple, because the more you go deeper into yourself, the more you enjoy, the more you become a wholesome personality, a greater personality, a personality that sees everything on a universal level and understand everything that is global. I'm sorry today I am not in my real proper mood, I should say, because I know how much these people have done. They have advertised, they've gone round, they have put up advertisements everywhere, put up so much money in that what time, Standard Times or what was this? Oh God, and that Times takes so much money out of your pockets. Just think of it. They are like gurus, you see. All that to spend, and what do you get out of it? One feels so sad. It's very sad. Of course, America is so much worse that relatively you don't feel that sad when you think of America. After describing all the American art today, the gentleman came to the conclusion and he said that after seeing all this art, one reaches a conclusion to say that they were barbarians and now they have become worst barbarians. Oh God, I said, what am I to do with these Americans now? But to me, you are all my children. You are all mine. I cannot allow you to be drifted away. Till the last, I'll try to work out. I know I feel sometimes very desperate and sad. English are very much changed now. They are so much influenced by the French. Now the French are better, but they are influenced by the old French and the old Americans, not the new ones. New ones are very alert. So all the old ideas of these nonsensical writers are lingering now in England, deposited like in a case of angina in the heart, you see, when there is hardening of the arteries, all the bad blood stagnates. Like that it's happening, I feel. They have given up these ideas. They have rid of it. They don't want to have it. We are still continuing with them. Something respectable for ourselves. That's what I feel. Today being most of them Saj Yogis here, I'm sure you'll all get your realization in no time. I'm sure of that. But that's not sufficient. Out of the 300 we got in Hampstead, with all the work these people did, advertising, this, that, whatever was possible, 5 people, somehow or other, stuck on, and only 3, I think, with a great glue, came down. That should not happen again. So especially for the new people, I have to tell you that this is something so important that has come to Wimbledon. All these tennis players, I have seen them coming and going. One comes this year, next year he goes away. Somebody is today a top seed, then he goes down. Not in Sahaja Yoga. You ascend and ascend and ascend and ascend eternally. It's a very different style of tennis. It's a real play. It's no professionals are needed. You become such tremendous players. Such a game you develop. And that's what is there for you, just to jump into it and to understand. The swimming. And I'm sure it will work out. I hope all those who have come for the first time will not treat themselves frivolously, but will stand up to it and give us some encouragement to work out more in England. Otherwise, maybe tomorrow all the Saj Yogis from here may come to India with their, what do you say, stock, what? Stock, lock, stock and barrel. Lock, stock and barrel. Of course, without the barrels. Let's see now how it works out. There's nothing serious about it. You have to be very pleasantly placed towards yourself. This is one thing we should know. A person who is godly is never serious inside. He's playing the game. So in that playful mood of Wimbledon, let us see what happens. May God bless you. Any questions? I'll have some water.
Some water?
Ah.
Right there.
Thank you. No questions. That seems to be good. You are free to ask questions. But if you have to achieve complete freedom, your freedom is to be respected. Your freedom has to be respected.
There's one question. Yes.
I'm a Christian and I do meditation. So as to if I'm welcome to will it help me?
He's a Christian, he does meditation, and he wonders whether he's welcome to our yoga.
Very much. But if you are a Christian, please be seated. Please be seated. Christian is all right. Any religion is all right. It's all great. But it has talked of the future. Christ has said, I will send you a comforter. Counselor and a redeemer. Why not the Christians look for someone like that? Christ is gone now, he's not here. Why don't they look out for the Holy Ghost? He himself has said it. Muhammad Sahib has said that during the time of resurrection, your hands will speak. What about the Muslims? Why don't they look out for the resurrection? Third is Guru Nanak, Kabira. Nanak was so great that he combined all the realized souls who were poets and made a big, beautiful Granth. What are the Sikhs doing? They are just reading it. He says, without knowing yourself, you will be in illusion. He said very clearly. Then should we not look for that? But what happens? I tell you what the mistake is. Once a religion is organized, it neutralizes all your assent. Organized. I also took my birth in the Christian religion, so-called, I would say. Especially, that too Protestant. For particular reasons. I could have taken birth anywhere else. But now. And there is no talk of ascent, no talk of second birth. Artificially, somebody puts his hand on your head. Now, you are a Christian. I don't know how you become. Same about Hindus, same about every one of them. They are leading an artificial religion. It's a garb. Reality is within. Whatever these people have worked and said is not done by them. It's become a superficial thing. You will not be happy unless and until you find your spirit. How can you organize religion? How can you organize God? Then you think you belong to a church, you belong to a, what you call that, a sect, or what is it called? Another thing, something. Huh? Denomination. All these denominations brand us. Well, what's the thing? For me, all of them are just the same. Still groping in the dark. How many are seeking reality? It's not that Christianity has failed, it is the church that has failed. Christ can never fail, nor can Guru Nanak, nor can Muhammad Sah. What fails is our understanding of them. Let us be the spirit and then we'll understand them. They are all one, hand in hand. No difference at all. They are all one, believe me. You don't have to give up anything. You have to just see to the essence of it. Supposing a leaf is sick, you cannot treat it at the leaf end. You have to go to the roots. And when you go to the roots, you find you have not given up any leaf. You are at the roots and you are at the leaf also. Everywhere you exist. There are so many seekers lost in this kind of a denomination. So many of them. Thank God my parents were realized souls. Thank God. Because I found Protestants were the different type of fanatics, you see, very sophisticated. They would never find out that they are fanatics. So sophisticated, you know. If you make anything very sophisticated, you can't find it out. We can call everybody else a fanatic, but a Protestant you can never call because they are a mental people. They have made it very sophisticated. So if you become so very sophisticated that you cannot see yourself and you cannot make it out that it's I who is following some sort of a fanaticism, an ideology, a mental projection, how can you get out of it? From every religion people will think, oh Baba, this is fanaticism, this is too much. But for this, I may be the first, and I hope I am not the last. Martin Luther himself was a realized soul, no doubt. But at that time, in that short time, with all kinds of oppressions and pressures, how far could he go? And then there's already an attack built in with Paul and then with Augustine. What can you do? Any realized soul like Khalil Gibran could see it clearly. So we have to know one thing. We have to love the truth. Truth is to be discovered through your spirit. And love your truth and not untruth. Any denomination is untruth. What is the truth? Is the essence of that. Everything is becoming a plastic. And then we say, why people are leaving churches? Why people are running up from Christian faith or from that faith? Nothing wrong with Christ. No, it's wrong with us. That we have made all these plastic things to cover His image. The greatest justice you can do to Christ is to get your realization. He was crucified for that. He came for that, and He waits for that. So please, get your realization first, and then you will know what is Christ. And how great He is. May God bless you. What else is there? Any other question? It's a good question, because that problem faces every one of you. Let's see. Or there could be denominations like communists, capitalists, East, West, all sorts of things. There could be, any time. I don't know the latest. I think lost counts after anti-culturists. There's only one denomination of God, is a realized soul, a yogi, one with God. That's the only one. There's no other denomination where all of them combine. Christ, Muhammad, Lao Tse, Socrates, Krishna, Rama, Nanaka, Kabira, all of them combine in that great family of divinity. All right, so should we have realization? I mean, most of you have had. Is there any question? You can ask me. I'll be very happy.
Would it be wrong to assume then that people who call themselves born-again Christians,
Was he?
would it be wrong to assume that people who call themselves born-again Christians have found what you have found?
Is
What-
it wrong for people who call themselves born-again Christians to...
No, this is the problem is, you cannot call yourself. This is a very big problem. You see, when I went to America, I must tell you, when I started talking about it, they said, you must, what do you say that? Make it a registration of my speeches, what is it?
Oh, copyright.
I must have a copyright, you see. Of course, I am very bad at the human laws. So I said, all right, now what is that for? He said, they will try to copy you. I said, let them copy, it's very good. I mean, I'll be very happy. So then you must have a copyright. Now I said, then what will they do? They said, you see, they will use your words, your sentence. I said, very good idea. But you know what they did? They started calling themselves born again. Born again. You cannot call yourself anything. You see, it's a power, it's a state. It's a situation in which you have to be. If you are just born again, you say yourself, what is your power? Born again, the first power you get is that you become, your nerves become, your brain becomes collectively conscious in your awareness. That's the minimum that should happen to you. It's not certificate. It's another, that is the latest than the anti-culturists. Then they might be the latest. It's another denomination. There's no reality in that. You don't know. One of the they attacked me in Switzerland. And the lady born again was wearing all kinds of glittery things. And she was bringing a Bible to hit me, and I couldn't bear the whole joke. And I started laughing. And everybody was very upset, but I was just laughing. I said, what a nice thing, born again, coming up to hit me. What wrong am I doing to you? But you see, the thing is, the organized religion is such a possession. It's such a security for people that they say, oh, we are born again, now certified. Certified. And they feel very secure with it, I think. Otherwise, I can't understand why should you accept such a title, you are born again. Unless and until you have the power. We must know what is the power one should have as a born again. They have no knowledge, nothing. They just know Bible, which also is so superficial. There is no depth in their life, nothing. Self-certification. There's no certificate in such. If you are born again, you will know yourself. And then you have to become. It's a becoming that is important. That's a fact. Be careful about born again Christians. Oh, we have had enough of them. They felt quite challenged about Sahaja Yoga because everywhere we went, they attacked us. Everywhere. They tried to attack us. But when we went to Australia, the Australians said, now you have done enough of yours. We have got anything from you. Better go away. So then they went away. But they are so self-deceived also. They live with self-deception. They know they haven't got anything. What have you got? All right, now Gregor has said, I'm this, I'm that, all right. Don't believe in him. You must get something out of me. Another question.
Srimati, could you explain the difference please between self-realization and God-realization?
Is that a Sahaja Yogi? Yes. Ah. Just now, let us deal with self-realization. That's why Buddha wanted not to speak a word about God. He never wanted to take the name of God also. He said, first self. He said, don't talk of God. Dangerous situation. But in a Sahaja Yoga, this thing I'll tell you. Not here, because people won't understand when I tell them about chakras. Better is to keep this for future, all right? Look at the Sahaja Yogis. Now they want to have God's realization. That's good.
What is the purpose of our soul in the material form?
Oh, it's a long story. Human beings created the purpose. In a way, like a diamond lost in the mire. We can say Adam and Eve, it started. There would have been no need to go through all this. But human beings wanted to know everything. They wanted to know the sting of a scorpion. They wanted to know the bite of a snake. And then they wanted to come to God. All right, you have your own way, you have freedom. That's freedom. Nobody can take away. That's given to you. Do what you like. So instead of eating your food directly like this, as I say, they started eating. What can you do? That's the human doing, not of God. It could have been very short-circuited, but it was so. All right. But that doesn't mean that your body is not required. Everything is required very much. Because the process is such. Supposing if you have a chance of making a seed into a fruit, just in the laboratory, put the seed and it becomes the fruit. All right, then you don't have the whole process. But if the process is this way, better have it. Next time one can try that. But let's finish the process now. We're coming to the end of it. That's the trouble. Now we can't go back, can we? We are, trying to. We cannot. All right. Is there any other question from Sahaj Yogis as we could? But don't ask such questions that I can't answer here. Please. Yes, please, again.
Would it be wrong to assume that the soul,
Huh?
would it be wrong to assume that the soul in this life is the mind in the next life?
What's it?
Is it wrong to assume that the soul in this life is the mind in the next life?
I didn't follow this.
I don't know.
Mind in this life or next life? Oh, I understand. Now I've understood. No. You see, soul is different from spirit. Spirit is the light of the soul, right? Let's differentiate it. And then the soul is, how to tell you? All the 5 elements that are within us, they form the soul. And the light of the soul is the spirit. Alright? No. But it doesn't transform from one to another. There's no transformation between this to that. Alright? So today's mind becomes a spirit next life, as you are saying. How? Because today's mind realizes that mind is not sufficient. So it ascends to the spirithood, to the selfhood, alright? Through the mind, it acquires the understanding, the logic that you have to ascend. But it doesn't come out of your mind. It comes out of the mind of God Almighty, the Spirit, which is untarnishable, unchangeable. But by following your mind, you realize that mind is not the last one. Or same with emotions. So many people who have failed in their emotional life, in a way, are specially blessed because they give up that kind of a madness and achieve spirit. But it's not the same. It's very detached. It's not attached to any elements. Spirit is detached from all emotions. It can see everything, but is detached. I followed your question all right, isn't it?
Yes, thank you. It's a deep question.
You understood it? Huh? You got your answer all right.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, I'm happy. It's a good question, but it was rather abridged form of a question, but I managed it somehow. Now I'm happy because sometimes, you people are so alert that you ask very nice questions, but I'm not so intelligent, I must confess. As you people are, because I don't use my mind at all. But you can reach the point very easily if you have your spirit intact, because it's light. Intelligence, if it is pure intelligence, what you call, that's the intelligence of the spirit. You just reach the point, exactly. But the intelligence that we understand is very different. You see, it plays with the words, it baffles you, it's brilliant. Your eyes can get completely shut with that. But it's not pure intelligence. Pure intelligence just gives you the absolute essence of everything. That's the intelligence of the spirit, not of the mind. Any other question, please? Hugo, is he there? Any German question? Anyway, questions also have denominations, aren't they? Let us be in a very pleasant mood. I am trying to bring you to a pleasant mood. Please be in a pleasant mood. And now, is there any question? सरदार जी, आपको कोई सवाल नहीं है क्या? सब सवालों का जवाब हो गया? खुश रहो, जीते रहो जी, खुश रहो. Yes, madam. Sir. What she said?
German question.
How did I know? There's a German lurking somewhere. Now explain, what does she say?
Why are we on this earth?
Huh?
Why are we on this earth?
Because God wanted you to be here. What she said?
There must be a reason.
Of course, the reason is the reflection of God's will. That He wanted us to be here. It's not according to our reasoning that God moves. He has His own reasons. That He wanted to have something, so He has it. He wants to have His children. Why do you have a child? Because you want to have. You want to enjoy and cherish. That's what God wanted, to enjoy and cherish the love of His children as the child loves you. You see, the answer is here. See? He is the realized soul and he is clearing her chakras. So my intelligence is with him, collect. He's clearly clearing your this chakra. And he understands. But this is the realized soul. Which just put up your hand, I can't see you.
They're asking for their self-realization.
That's great. That's your right. That's very, very great. All right, let's have. But all the 20 who are here, I have to make a humble request that please respect your realization. Please. Sometimes I weep with frustration. And I request you to understand your value and worth in the light of the Spirit. Thank you.
Could you please take out your shoes and sit with your 2 feet on the ground without crossing the legs? And be comfortable, don't have anything which make you feel tight, and put your 2 hands in the direction of Sri Mataji with the palms upwards. Thank you.
But the new people should come forward and the Sahajogis
And-
must give them room. Because
and-
you see, we have to look after them.
Yes. So please, all the people who are here for the first time, would you please
Come in the forward seat.
just
and Sahajogis should go
on the
behind.
forward seat, and every Sahajogi who are on the forward seat, please, the first seat, please move backwards. And we are speaking about the seats, not on the ground.
Okay.
So all the new people, please sit on the first row of seats.
That's great. She's going to start a center in Wimbledon. Let's see. Hope for the best. Keep your fingers crossed. Such vibrations. No, it's better to be there because they'll go into cramps.
Or if this is not enough, also on the second row, please, Sahaja Yogis, can you leave the second row free?
Such vibrations flowing, you don't know with the idea of Wimbledon. Tremendous vibration. Too much vibrations. Yeah, it's good. So a yogi should move from the second row and let people who are new should sit there. Please move from the second and the first row also.
Please, can you just, as I said, put your 2 feet on the ground straight without crossing the legs, and put your 2 hands with the palm upwards in the direction of Sri Mataji.
If you are sitting on the ground, there's nothing to worry about the feet being on the ground. Then you are on the ground. But those who are sitting on the chair, please put both your feet like this on the Mother Earth, because she sucks in the problems you have. And put both the hands like this towards me. Now you have to close your eyes. Just close your eyes. You don't open your eyes till I tell you to open your eyes. So you just keep your eyes shut. Now, left hand is symbolic of our desire power. So we are putting our desire, left hand, asking for our self-realization. So keep it all the time, left hand towards me. Right hand is the power of action, Kriya Shakti. So you have to use the right hand for that. And so you have to put your right hand onto different centers, which I will explain to you in a very simple way. And you'll be able to understand that you have to put your hand on these centers, helping your Kundalini to rise. Now, we are working out only on the left hand side of our centers with our right hand. So the left hand is towards me and the right hand goes on to different centers that we have. As simple as that. The first one is the one what we call is the seat of the spirit, which is the heart, which is on the left hand side. So please put your left hand towards me all the time and the right hand on the heart. Now, just on the heart. Now, at this place, you have to ask me a very fundamental question. Mother, if you call me Shri Mataji or Mother is the same. Mother, am I the spirit? The fundamental question, just ask me. Mother, am I the spirit? Ask this question 3 times. Mother, am I the spirit? So, one has to know that if you become the spirit, you become your own guide. You become your own guru. This is all created by the great prophets and great gurus within you, the possibility. So now, after this, you take down your right hand onto your stomach on the left hand side. This is the center of a mastery. Mastery of the divine power. The technique, how to use it. So here you have to ask another question relevant with the first one, that if I am the spirit, am I my own master? Ask a question now 3 times. Mother, am I my own master? Put your left hand towards me and right hand on the left hand side of your stomach in the upper part. In the upper part of your stomach on the left hand side, please put your right hand and press it. And here you ask me a question 3 times. Mother, am I my own master? Am I my own guide? Am I my own guru? This is the blessings of the real Sadgurus. Three times. Now, please take your hand in the lower part of your abdomen on the left hand side. Now press it hard. This is the center that works out. First one was the master. This is the center that works out the divine technique of the true knowledge, of the pure knowledge. So now ask a question. In a way, it's not a question but a request. Because unless and until you ask for it, I cannot do it. I cannot cross your freedom. So here you say, Mother, please may I have the pure knowledge? Mother, may I have the pure knowledge? Say it 3 times. Mother, may I have the pure knowledge? 6 times. Because this center has got 6 petals. Now this you are asking to initiate the Kundalini, to awaken the Kundalini. When you ask for it, because it's such an absolute question, the Kundalini awakens. You have to request her. Now, again, raise your hand to the upper portion or upper area of the stomach on the left hand side at the center of the mastery. Here you press it hard and say with full confidence for the Kundalini to rise, to open the center with full assertion, Mother, I am my own master. Mother, I am my own master. You have to say this 10 times because there are 10 masters within us who have built up our 10 centers, subplexuses of this solar plexus. So we have to say 10 times with full assertion, Mother, I am my own master. Now, raise your right hand on to the heart. Here again, with full confidence within yourself, forgetting all your past, forgetting all your problems, with full confidence and assertion, you have to say, Mother, I am the Spirit. You have to say it 12 times. Mother, I am the Spirit. You are the Spirit, no doubt about it. Believe in yourself. Have faith in yourself. Know that you are the Spirit and nothing else. Now, raise your right hand in the corner of your left shoulder and your neck from the front. This is the most difficult center that we have in the West because people believe in something called the guilt, and all the time they feel guilty for nothing at all. So put it in the corner of the neck and the shoulder. Press it hard on the backbone. Hard. This is the worst center we have in the West, that we feel guilty for nothing at all. What is of feeling guilty? You are the Spirit. How can Spirit make mistakes? And God is the ocean of love and compassion. But above all, He is the ocean of forgiveness. What guilt can you have? What mistakes can you commit that His power of forgiveness cannot forgive? You are not to be guilty. Forget my lecture, forget everything. You are the pure, immaculate spirit. You are Satchidanand. You are the source of all that is joy. Better. You have to say this 16 times. Mother, I am not guilty. 16 times. Press it hard and say it 16 times. No. So in the beginning it was terrible. Now, take this hand and put it across your forehead, please. Stretch your left hand towards me. At this point, not how many times, but from your heart you have to say, Mother, I forgive everyone. Something that's very difficult to forgive. But it's a myth. Because whether you forgive or not forgive, you don't do anything about it. But if you don't forgive, then you play into the wrong hands. So please say, Mother, I forgive. That's the greatest weapon you have. Mother, I forgive. Everyone. First of all, yourself. Now on the back of your head, hold it tight. Now for your own consolation, you can say that, O God Almighty, or O my Kundalini the Mother, if I have done anything wrong, in your glory, in your name, please forgive me. Not to feel guilty at all. Please don't feel guilty. But just say it out. Don't count all your so-called sins. Just forget it, forget it, forget it. Now, raise your hand on top of your head, on the fontanelle bone area. Stretch your palm and press it hard in a clockwise manner. Take your right hand on top of your head, on the fontanelle bone area, which was a soft bone in your childhood. Press it hard, and here In a clockwise manner, when you move it, you have to say something which I cannot do it without it, because you are free. So you have to say, Mother, I want my realization. I cannot force on you. So to say, I want my realization, Mother, please give me my self-realization. Just say that. Press it hard. Press it hard. Stretch your palm on top of Fontainebleau area. Now, 7 times. Now bring down your right hand, please. The most valuable moment of your life and the most precious, important happening. Now please place your right hand towards me and left hand on top of your head, bending the head about, say, 3-4 inches, and move the hand and see if there's any cool breeze coming out of your own head. Please.
All the Sahaja Yogis, please come back here. Everybody, please, because, and I would request all the people who came here for the first time to kindly now proceed, because the program is finished, and if they so wish, they may leave the name and addresses in such way that we can contact them to tell them when there is a program. And there are meetings every Friday, and John, who is here, will talk to you outside. Please, John, could you go outside? So I would request all the new people now to leave this hall, and all the Sahaja Yogis, please come back in. Marilyn, everybody come back in. So again, people who are here for the first time are kindly requested to now leave the hall. Please, Sahaja Yogi, can you just sit quietly in meditation? John, where is John?